I reckon. And good afternoon. So, collective worship for today. Can you make sure you've got your collective worship council members up and ready so they can open worship for us today? And if they can read the green, and then we can reply with the white at the bottom. And also with you. Now, today, we quiz through like we normally do. Reckon 5 R's. What are they? You know them. Resilience, risk-taking, resourcefulness, reflectiveness, and relationships. Now, you know what I'm going to ask next. I always ask this as well. What are our Christian values? Can you remember our Christian values? Faith, hope, and love. So, today we are looking at a man called Peake. Maybe you've heard his name mentioned before. Do you recognise it? If you do, don't say anything, okay? If you don't recognise his name, play along and try and work out if you can guess what he has done. That is, well, not even a little bit, but completely amazing. Here's a picture of him. This photo doesn't give much away. I think he's being interviewed on a TV show though, but doesn't really tell you what he's being interviewed for though, does it? What about this picture? Does this picture give you a clue? Looks very happy, doesn't he? And it's interesting, if you look here on his chest, you can see there's his name. And there's 2 wings. Interesting. Oh, and also, if you look at his arm, okay, can you see over here, what can you see half of? Yeah, it's similar to last week with Sarah's story, isn't it? It's the Union flag. It's our flag, the British flag. Now, you ready? Oh, maybe this picture will give you a better clue. What do you think he's famous for? What has he done that is amazing? Yeah, he's got something down. If he had something over his head, it could be even more obvious, couldn't it? Wonder if you've guessed yet. Oh, you can also see his name is just there as well. I'm just going to move myself out the way. I'm just going to here for a minute. So who is Tim Peake? So Timothy Nigel Tim Peake is a British astronaut, and he was born in Chichester, and that's in West Sussex in England. And if you look at the map, you see the red dot. That shows you where he was born. So if you look up here, you know where East Anglia is, where we live, you can see that he lives to the south of where we live. Now, he was born on the 7th of April, 1972. I wonder if any of you have got a birthday in April. You might share the same birthday month as Tim. Now, his childhood. He grew up in a village with his older sister and his mother, and also his father. And at an early age, Tim was fascinated with flying because his father took them to air shows. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been to an air show, but it's where you get to sort of sit down, possibly on some grass, maybe on one little deck chair or something, and you get to watch a variety of different planes that fly over. I think Duxford have had quite a few over the years, but this is something he was really interested in, fascinated in planes. Now, he went to school at Chichester High School for boys. we go. Now I put this picture in because I found it and it just made me giggle. So that's a picture of him there. You see the romper suit or the short suit on. And I'm pretty sure that must be his sister who is in the photograph with him. Don't know if he looks very happy though, does he? Right, so Tim Peake is here with his grandparents at his graduation in Sandhurst. So if any of you think about graduation, it's when you sort of leave when you pass all the exams you have to do. So do you remember, if any of you went to preschool, that's just next to Rackham, then you remember, you wore the red robes possibly in the hat, at least you used to, but you might have done that and that was your graduation when you left. This graduation was at Sandhurst and there's something I'm going to tell you about in a minute, okay? So in 1990, Tim went to the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. He trained to be a pilot and worked for 18 years in the army. So he went to Sandhurst to train to be in the army. And in 2008, Tim applied to be an astronaut. And in 2009, he began his astronaut training at the European Astronaut Corps. How exciting must that have been to go off and start your astronaut training? Well, what are you doing today? Oh, start my astronaut training. How exciting. So I picked this picture because, as I say every week, I like a nice picture. This is a picture of him with his wife, Rebecca. Just so you get an idea of what he's like in his life outside being an astronaut. And this is a picture of Tim with his sons. It is a few years old, this picture. So his sons are, they'll be taller now, won't they? They'll look older. But they're called Thomas and Oliver. So the last half. In December 2015, Tim Peake launched alongside 2 other astronauts. Tim reached his destination, which was the International Space Station, on the same day that he was launched. So it's the same day he took off or was launched and he reached his destination. Now, he spent 6 months in space. So that's half the year. Okay, so if you think, it'd be like if you were here from the start of this term all the way up to Christmas and then past then until the next half term. It's a long time, isn't it, to be without your family? So this must have been something that he really wanted to do and also something which he thought was very worthwhile. So he obviously made a lot of sacrifices for being away for that long. Now, during his 6 months in space, he completed a spacewalk, which means that he actually left the space station to complete jobs outside in space. I can't even imagine what that must feel like. Can you imagine being able to say, I have worked in space. I've done a spacewalk. How amazing. Now, this was watched by millions of people on Earth with excitement. It really was very exciting at the time. Now, just before we go on to our passage from the Bible, I want you to have a think. What type of character do you think Tim Peake is? Is he resilient? Does he not give up? Because it's not many people that get to be astronauts. Not many people. Was he resourceful? Did he think about the best way he could become an astronaut? Did he have faith? Did he think it's going to happen? It's going to happen. Of course, now, if you've got time and you can have a little chat about which of our 5 R's, all our Christian values you think match with Tim Peake? Okay, so thinking now about our Bible passage, I picked Genesis. Now, remember that Genesis is the first book of the Bible. So this is found in the Old Testament. Okay, but to keep trying to learn all these phrases, make sure we remember them. The Old Testament is the first book in the Bible, and it is written before we have all the stories about Jesus. Okay, and this is Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 2. And this part of the Bible is all about how Christians believe the world was created. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. So this passage is about the very, very beginning of the world being created from a Christian's point of view. And it doesn't look like the animals have been created yet, or the humans, but it's the heavens and the earth that have been created at this point. Okay, maybe you can have a think. Do you remember how many days Christians believe the earth was created in? Do you remember which day Christians believe God rested on? Have a think, see if you can remember. But I picked this passage because it just made me think. Space seems so amazing and wonderful. I don't really understand a lot to do with space. I don't have lots of really good knowledge on space, but isn't it amazing? And if you're a Christian, then you believe that God created space and earth and heaven. So this passage made me think about space. Okay. So it's time for our Lord's Prayer. Hands together and eyes closed, or we sit quietly and we show respect. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So, just before we close our act of worship, okay, I want you to have a think about your day today. What's gone really well? What have you been really proud of? Maybe there's something that you've done today and you thought, that's the first time I've done that. Just like Tim Peake went into space for the first time. Be proud of yourself if there's something you've done for the first time. Is there something you think didn't go really well that you want to have another go at? That's fine. Tomorrow's a new day. You can try again. But try and be positive and think of something today that you should really be proud of. Because I know each and every one of you can find something. So, Collective Worship Council, if you would like to close the worship by leading us in the blue, and then we can all join in with the red. And make our school a place of love. Bye for now, everyone.